3,
Ready.
2,
action.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the SIDEROOM. The SIDEROOM podcast. My name is justjeff, and we have over here my co-host.
DNICS. What's poppin', yo?
Yeah, so we have a very special guest today. He is all the way from Brea, right?
Brea, correct.
We have to my right over here, Miko Santos, a.k.a. Freako. Make some noise.
Yay! Miko!
What's up, Freako? How you
Yo,
feeling?
I'm good. I just want to thank you guys for having me
Hell yeah.
on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Happy birthday, DNICS.
Thank you. Yes.
First, I wanted to give you guys something for having me as a guest on the show. Like, this is my first time ever doing a podcast of any kind, and I love
Us
to
too.
talk. And I appreciate you guys for considering me. So
Hell yeah, man.
I'll pull it out right now. I got one for everyone.
Oh,
What
shit.
is?
I got one for
Oh, is it the
everyone.
Prince, bro?
I
Dude,
got one for everyone.
He brought this, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" He was like, "You'll see." It's the gift.
Yo, I actually wanted to compliment these.
Yeah? Might have to cut this
He's
out.
pulling it out. People that are listening on Spotify, he's pulling something out of this cannon right here.
It's like a tubular thing.
Totally tubular.
It looks like a rocket launcher.
Yo.
Hold on.
Those are big,
Oh, it's
bro.
the world peace.
So this is a print I made, and I just been giving them out as gifts and stuff.
Nice.
But I got one for everyone. Should I just pull it out for each one of you? Do you guys want it now, later?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get it out later on,
Okay.
but yeah. So if you could show the camera right here.
Yeah, bro.
So world peace. Just tell us what this is about.
Yeah. So World Peace, a little event I started throwing last month, but basically, how do I describe it? You know, this is kind of like my baby. I don't know.
I mean, it's an event that you started.
yeah.
When did you start it?
I started it in July. July
Nice.
1st was the first one. And crazy story about that. So my friend Ron, his aunt works at Hilton in downtown LA, Hilton Checkers. And he asked me if I wanted to do this gig. And it was like a week before. And we were hanging out playing Smash. I was like, sure, I'll take it. It was Sunday night. We played Smash till like 4 a.m. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And he ended up leaving at like 5 a.m. And I was like, oh shit, I got to get everything ready. I have to I have to make the graphic design. I have to book all the DJs. Like, this is such short notice. And I'm like, I have a whole week to do it. And I was up the entire night working on graphic designs, booking DJs, and I had it all done by 12 p.m. that day.
And
it was-
that turnaround time though.
It was
That turnaround
crazy.
time.
Like, whenever I have like the inspiration, like, I don't want to let go. I just, I hold on to it as long as possible.
Hell yeah, man.
Even though if I'm like tired, I'll do it. And it all just fell into place, really. And
yeah.
like, shout out to the DJs.
That's actually really cool because, for the same thing for this podcast, everything kind of like fell into place for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually really cool that, there wasn't like a big thought process, just everything just came like right after the other.
Yeah.
And sometimes like, there is no right or wrong way to start something.
Yeah.
And to hear that story from you, like I thought you were like very meticulous and like, had this strategy and stuff, but just hearing from that, like you like as creatives, it's actually really nice to hear that because you don't need to plan things right away. You can always just go on a whim, create something, and then it can turn out really well. I went to your second showing. I think your
First one.
The first one. Is
Yeah.
that the first one? Yeah, your
Thank you
first
for
one.
coming out.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. That was my first time at the Hilton Checkers
Mm.
downtown LA, and parking was a bitch
yeah.
to find over there.
I agree.
But I would say that there are parking spaces that you can go to, and just the venue is like so cool. Like you just go up. It's on what floor is it on?
It's like 13, 14
13th floor. You go out of the elevator, and then you see this huge view of like the buildings of downtown LA, and you're just like mesmerized. And you have when does the event start again?
It starts at 6.
6. So like the sun is kind of still out, but at the same time it's not there, so it's not burning your skin.
Yeah.
And then it's nice and cool. Then the night starts to set in, the lights come on, and yeah, I thought like it was such a nice vibe. And when I first got in there, there's like a lot of people there, like for your first event. Like kudos to you, dude. Kudos to you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think world peace is like a testament to who you are as a person. Because I feel like you're always mending, like, when things are like kind of like not going bad, but like when it's not the greatest, like you're always the person to bring positivity to the group. You know what I mean? And I think that's such a cool thing to see you turn this into a party, man. So Hell yeah, man.
I appreciate that. I do my best. I'm not perfect, but I'm just trying to spread some positivity in this world. I think the world needs more of it.
100%,
That's the first thing I recognized about you is that you were always so kind to people, and it wasn't about status. It's just about the moment being there with them, and that's what I really appreciated with having a conversation with you. It's the moment I met you is like, oh, he's like super nice guy, and like it seems like you can do no wrong. But I think all of us like we want to strive to be like that for sure. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah.
I remember my first time. I mean, I met Miko at season 9 orientation, obviously, but my first time actually hanging out with him was at Bowery in downtown Fullerton. We went to support Gio and AB, and it was funny because I remember Gio said, "Yo, go get us some beers, bro. Get whatever." And they were like, "Are you sure?" And then we came back with like these big ass Modelos.
It's Modelo time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But that's definitely a good time. Always great first impressions with you for sure. I'm sure a lot of people could attest to that for sure too. So
thank you,
yeah, dude.
I want to slow things down right here. I just want to, I want you to kind of like introduce yourself, like what you do, on your free time and what you do as an occupation.
Yes,
I know
please.
that you just literally told me, before we aired that, you are DJing like full time. And there's a lot of people in this industry that do the same thing that you do, but also there's a lot of people that work, a 9-to-5 job and DJ as well. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, the events that you run. I know that, World Peace isn't just the only event that you run, is the one that you started by yourself, but you are also part of Isoulation as well. So just give us a backstory of like how you started DJing and where you come from too.
Yeah, so my name is Miko, if you guys don't know already, but
Santos.
basically I'm a full-time DJ. It wasn't always like this. Before I took DJing full-time, I was working at a physical therapy clinic, and I was a physical therapist aide. And I was in that, like when I was in academy, when I was in school, I was interning at this place and I got the job. But basically when things started kind of going off with DJing, I decided I had to make a decision, right? It'd be every weekend I'd go to like Rewind, which is a club in, Anaheim. But basically I'd go to work, I'd get up 7 a.m., get to work at 8. I'm there till 7 p.m. I go home, I shower, I eat, and I go out to Rewind to like network or, to either DJ, whatever. And I'd get home at like 4 a.m. People are trying to hang out. And I'm like, I can't live like this, And like the moment I get home, I want to have some time for myself. So I'm like playing video games and I'm up till like 7 or 8 a.m. And this was like every weekend for like a good several months. And it was very taxing on me mentally. And I was like, all right, I think it's time for me to try DJing full time. And I haven't looked back. And when you put yourself out there for these opportunities, they kind of just fall in your lap. And it's really crazy. And to anyone who's deciding if they want to do it full time, like try it, like you have your whole life to like experience these kinds of things, these kinds of moments. And I don't regret it.
Dude, honestly, I really commend you for that, because that's a fear that most creatives have in a sense where, how are we going to financially support ourselves? And the way that we do that is, there's always a plan B. And you graduated with kinesiology, right?
Kinesiology, correct.
That's like a really hard major to like get, because I know that it's very not saturated, but just like it's a lot of people are doing it, and it's very competitive.
Yeah.
So I know that for sure, and I know I have a lot of friends in PTA, and it's a lot of work. You need to be there 24/7, and it's very taxing. And at the end of the day, you kind of want to rest. But once you have DJing involved, you want to pursue that, because there's a demand to have for that attention, and to be a DJ you need to put in 110%, like just how you put in a regular job. And like I really respect you for that, because it's a really brave like action that you're taking for yourself, and then it just shows that you don't need to be scared to like do it at all. Like for me, like I had a issue of like, oh, like do I want to like DJ for the rest of my life? Do I want to do this? Do I want to be coaching for the rest of my life? Like you're in like a place where you have to choose an avenue. Some things may work out, some things may not, but you're brave enough to kind of like just see past that and just think positive and move forward with that. And I think once you do that, like things will just fall into your lap.
Yeah.
Because I know that DNICS is doing the same thing as
Yeah,
you,
man.
right? So you guys probably have the similar stories.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Yep.
Like I remember we did a gig for like an NFT thing. I forgot what it was called.
It was like a dog's birthday, and then
Yeah.
they made him into an NFT.
A dog's birthday?
It was a dog's birthday, and like it was like a pixel art of him.
Yeah, they made an NFT of the dog.
Was the dog there?
The dog was there.
The dog was there.
Was it cute?
Yeah, it shat on the floor. I remember that shit, dude.
It was funny because DNICS and I, like, we carpooled, we pulled up, and we're like, I forgot the name of the dog, but we pulled up, and I was like, who's this? And like I see a little baby, like a little toddler walking by. I'm like, I think this is him.
The dog or the
It was
toddler?
we thought
No,
it
the
was
birthday celebrant. We thought it was the toddler.
We thought it was a toddler, and then we asked the person who hired us. I was like, who's this? And he's like, oh, right here, and like carries a dog, and like shows us. So we're like, oh, it makes so much sense. Like
I forgot the
his
name.
photos everywhere. But
It made more sense. I put two and two
Yeah.
together there.
I'm still confused about like NFTs and stuff.
I am too.
same.
I have not done my research about
Yeah.
it, and I have some friends that are in it, and it seems like they're living very lavish and stuff. So maybe that's something that I want to like kind of dive into
Yeah.
later on. But you just have to do the research about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like open-minded to it, but also I feel like you have to be very passionate about it. You know what I mean? Because obviously you don't want to put money into like something like that costs money.
Yeah, you
And-
got to know the field.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everything of
So,
it.
yeah, I'm like more of just an artist myself. I just like to dabble in that space and not worry about,
Yeah.
oh, like how much is this worth? You know what I mean? So
When you guys were at the venue, were there like a lot of people there? Were there a lot of there's or?
there was only like one dog, but there was a lot of like people. It was like trickling in and out. So I guess it's people. You know how like people buy the NFT.
Uh-huh.
So I guess it's people who bought the NFT. Like it's like a meetup kind of. I know I see it. It's bothering me too. It was like I guess like you remember Tumblr meetups?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but for NFTs. I don't know.
So
Something
the,
like that. Yeah.
So the people that invested in that NFT get to
yeah.
go there. Was there like alcohol or like food or anything over there?
No.
Or is it just a meetup?
It was just a meetup. There's like coffee. I know there's like hot dogs.
Mm.
They're giving out like free soccer jerseys.
Oh, was it a wholesome party?
It was pretty
It was
wholesome.
wholesome.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
It was like afternoon, like 12 to 3
Yeah.
or something like that.
Very diverse too. Like people who come from different like works and stuff like
Workspaces.
that. Workspaces and like different races and like ages, of course. But yeah, it was super interesting because I've never been in that space before.
Mm.
I don't know if you have.
No, neither have
Yeah,
I.
dude. That was, and we did shoots together.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Did you guys meet anyone over there? That was
AJ
like,
Raphael?
AJ
What?
Raphael, yeah.
at shoots though. At shoots.
It shoots,
Oh,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
But yeah, AJ Raphael, and then we met the people that also own shoots. Shout out to Harold and Michael.
Yep.
Super cool people, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we always talk about it on the way to like our gigs that we do together, and like also like when we just hang out, like where we see ourselves. It always changes, obviously, because I feel like you have your on and off nights, as a DJ. But yeah, dude, how do you feel about being a full-time DJ right now?
As of right now, it's very. I'm learning to find the balance between separating DJing and my personal life. And for a very long time, I want to say like since I started DJing like this, I think about it constantly. It's the only thing that's on my mind, and it's very taxing to me. So, I'm just trying to find ways to like get out of that space because I'm not just a DJ at the end of the day. I'm a
Right.
human being. Like I want to be able to hang out with my friends. I want to be able to support my friends and go out to events, things like that. So yeah, one thing I do to basically get my mind off of DJing like lately is like working out, staying fit, because that's what I graduated with. So I'm just trying to get back into it. And honestly, like this is the best I felt in a very long time.
That's
and I've
awesome,
been
dude.
working
That's
out
good.
consistently for like the past 3 months. I feel great.
Nice, dude.
Have you been drinking less though?
I have been drinking less, and like when you're out in the nightlife, like you're just surrounded by it. And like I don't think there's anything wrong with going out and enjoying and drinking, but I guess being in the industry and having had done this for I want to say consistently for a year, like every weekend. Like I said, it's very like draining. And I guess I'm getting older, or I don't know what it is, but I feel like my soul is
How old
kind
are
of
you?
27.
27.
Mhm.
You're not. I mean, you're not.
I'm not
old.
that old.
You're not. I mean, you don't. I wouldn't even say that.
I'm not old at all, to be honest. We're not
Yeah,
old.
bro. Honestly, like 20s isn't old at all. Like,
He's
your
the youngest
20s
one here.
I'm the
He's
youngest
24.
one.
He's the baby.
And people
here.
are always like, "Oh my gosh, you're so young," but then like they'll be like 25. And I'm just like, you just turned like a year older. Like, I don't know, but it's interesting to see people say, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting so old." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like in retrospect, like you're thinking old in terms of what people have made it to be old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
you don't want to cut your life short by saying like, "Oh, I'm turning like, I don't know, 25 this year. Like, I don't have much to live. Like, I gotta find like a secure job right now." You know, like people are still 40 or 50 trying to figure this shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Not to say that they're not successful, but they still don't have it figured out. You know?
I
Yeah.
would say that quarter life crisis is a real thing, though.
Oh,
for
definitely.
sure.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure. I think
definitely.
everyone goes through this, and they, whether you like it or not, you're always there's a time that you have to self-reflect.
Yeah.
And I had that. I mean, I'm 25 right now, and I had that during the summer, and it was really hard. It was like
Yeah.
it's obviously really hard to go through because there's a lot of negative emotions and negative thoughts that come into your head. But once you're from the bottom, there's only one way up.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
without having those like mixed emotions about stuff, I wouldn't have been starting this podcast
Yeah,
with
bro.
DNICS. I
100%.
wouldn't have been doing the things that I do now and making the decisions for my future. So that's like really like reassuring to hear from like you and from like everything that you've been going through, and like you had a 9-to-5 job, you had that and you experienced that, and now like people have a mindset where, oh, that's important for me, but then for you did it and it kind of took you away from a thing that you really wanted to do. So yeah, again, like I can't get over the fact that like there's people out there that just do like DJing like as a 9-to-5, and then they just like practice, and then they just like elevate their game even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, because like I was always taught to have like a plan B, and that's why I'm going back to school like in January. So I mean, what would like an advice that you'd give out to someone that is kind of like on the borderline of like picking?
Damn. I mean,
What was like one thing that you thought about for yourself where it's like make it or break it type of thing?
for me, it was just, I told myself I'm not getting any younger, and that's why I did it. But, now that I'm in this space, now that I'm a little bit older, more mature, the advice I'd give to myself 3-4 years ago, or, back then, I'd tell myself, finish school, get your education done, so that way you could fund your passion, right? Like if buying turntables won't be as difficult. You don't have to save up as much if you have a career and stable job. And, like the inflation, inflation's rising, everything's getting more expensive. And I think stability is something that I'm craving at this point. Like now that I'm older, like DJing, I'm very blessed to be able to DJ full time because I live at home. Not everyone has that opportunity, and that's why I go hard. That's why I do what I do, and I want to show people that it's possible. But I can't do it without. I'm not saying that it's impossible to do it if I wasn't living at home. I'm just saying that it'd be that much harder. So I'm very blessed to have like my parents' support and all that. But yeah, I tell myself, go back to school, get your doctor of physical therapy, have fun,
That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's move on to like your events. So you are what was the first event that you were a part of when
First
you first
event.
started? Actually, let's do this. How did you get into DJing
Okay.
first?
How did I get into DJing? So I was in college, graduated. I bought myself a gift. I was like, okay, what is something I want to, invest my money in now that I graduated? What's a little gift I could get for myself? So I bought like a plastic Audio-Technica turntable. I bought like these Amazon Bluetooth speakers, like hooked it up, whatever. And that summer I was working my job, and every Friday I'd go from my job to the record shop, and I just like dig for records, and I'm like, okay, cool. and I remember I would try.
to scratch.
I tried to scratch, and like that's not how it was made. Like it's a belt-driven turntable. Like it's not meant to operate like that. But I was like, I just want to see how it sounds. And like I didn't know anything about DJing at the time.
I do that shit all the time. Man. Like Audrey asked me to play like a nice like sounding record, so it'd be like a I don't know, Stevie Wonder, like a slow song.
Yeah.
And then like I'll be standing at the record player, and I'll just be like, it'll be a fucking isn't she lovely? And I go, isn't she chicka chicka?
Lovely.
I just think it's funny, bro, because like back in the day, like it was a curse to like touch the top of the record.
Yeah, it was like taboo, right?
Yeah, if you look at like disco DJs, bro, like they're touching it like this, like they'll hold their record. Fuck, I'm just
on the side,
like on the edges,
side,
right?
And then they'll put it down like this,
They're very careful.
and then
with
like
it.
they'll have like a needle like looking down at it, like trying to put it down carefully. But as like hip hop DJs, like
There's some
Yeah, man.
reckless ass people out there
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. I mean, I'm one of those people too. If I
100%.
drink as well.
all right, sorry. So you said you would go to the record shop and then try out like scratching on the record player. So what's after
Yeah.
that?
I heard about Academy through Nicole, and I know she had
Yeah.
Soul Control, but yeah, I remember.
Shout out Nicole.
Shout out Nicole,
Soul Control
Lois, but
Lois.
yeah. I remember hearing about it through her, and then one of my good friends from junior high, Deline, she also graduated from Academy, and I was, you know,
Because she
like-
was season 8.
Oh,
She was season
yeah,
eight,
yeah.
You were season 9.
Mhm.
So did you like see it on like Instagram posts or anything?
I did, and at the time, like I didn't really think anything of it. You know, I was like, oh, cool, like they, they're into DJing. Like I think that's awesome. You know, like good for them. But then after I had graduated, after buying my turntable, I for some reason just considered it. I applied on a whim. I put my heart on that application. Like I wrote a poem.
Oh,
you
hell
know,
yeah.
like
Did you really?
I
Wait, you
wrote,
wrote a poem?
I wrote a poem for it because like the last question was like, how does music make you feel? And I was like, it's really hard to put into words like how music makes me feel. And I was like, this is the only way I could express it. So I wrote like
Wow.
I had bars. I
crazy.
had bars.
Bro, that's funny because you said it's really hard to put into words.
And then you wrote
you made a poem.
That's the best way I can. Like I don't know.
That's literally the opposite of what he said.
Took some time, but yeah, I got the call from Diho, and I remember like he's like, "Hey, Miko, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm David." He's like, "Welcome," or not welcome, but he's like, "Would you like to join Academy of DJs?" Like you're one of the people we selected out of like 100, 200
It was
applicants.
200 something,
Yeah.
bro.
200
Every
applicants.
season has like at least 200 people. And like being on staff now, like we obviously see how they pick and deliberate.
Yeah.
And dude, like there's so many profiles we have to go through.
Yep.
It's time consuming,
Yeah.
It
dude.
takes hours.
But it's
Yeah.
worth it though. It's worth it because we get to choose the right people.
It's fun though.
You know what I
It's
mean?
so funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's funny. Like these profiles, like you know how you wrote a poem. There's some applicants that just like write one sentence. So it's like we're not gonna pick you. Like we
Yeah.
just don't know who you are. Like at least to have like an Instagram at least to kind of
Yeah.
show, because part of being a DJ you have to advertise yourself through
Right.
Instagram.
Sell yourself,
Obviously,
right.
like that stuff is. So, it matters.
Yeah.
It matters in a sense.
And we don't have an interview process, so we can't be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll just choose you right away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, we can't interview
yeah.
200 people.
Yeah, we're on Academy of DJ staff, by the way. So
Yes. But before we get into like staff,
Let's go,
just
yeah, let's go back.
just explain like, obviously you got accepted to Academy, and then you're going through the actual like lessons and stuff. How was
Yeah.
that for you?
Yeah, I mean, before we get into that, I just wanted to say I remember when I hit submit on the application. I don't know what it was, but in my heart, like I knew I put everything I had into the application. And I told myself, I'm getting in. And I it's weird how like things fall into place. I just knew that this was something that was meant for me.
yeah, man.
And like I tell this to the students that we have, that we choose you guys for a reason, and like we don't ever want you to doubt yourself. We chose you, and we want you to work hard, and we believe in you. That's why you're in this program. We had to go through this program, and it's a very life-changing experience to be able to work closely, like with experienced DJs, people who are new to DJing. It's a very interesting community. But yeah, what was the question?
Just like your No, it's cool. Just tell us the
Yeah.
road of like when you're in academy and like when you're going through lessons and
Yeah.
stuff. Obviously, like you don't need to tell us like each lesson, but what was like the most memorable thing like being a student for academy for you?
Oh, definitely grad. You know, like the way they advertise it from, you know, orientation, like, oh, grad's gonna be big, you know? And I remember they gave us notebooks and everything. I'm like just writing things down. I'm like, okay, this is what I plan to do for my grad set. And, you know, none of that ever happened what I wrote down, but it's crazy to see like the growth that we all went
Right.
through and like
Yeah.
you went through as well.
I mean, we all went through academy too.
Yeah.
So I mean, for what kind of give you guys a reference. So grad is basically where all the students perform for 15 minutes each. They obviously have their set list of what they want to play, and that grad shows to show who you are, to express how you feel about music, how you feel about DJing, and it's just you get your 15 minutes of fame there. And for my grad set, I remember it till this day. It's one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah.
Because it's a turning point for you,
Mhm.
and you just kind of feel like you could really do something bigger than yourself. So
It's very empowering,
oh yeah,
you know?
100%. Yeah.
I felt like I was floating after my grad set,
Yep.
and it's just you just feel like, oh, like I'm so happy right now. Like
Yeah.
it's like a certain high that you get.
Euphoric.
Yes.
It's crazy. Like I remember during my grad set, there was like a 5-minute stretch where my body kind of just did its own. I don't know. I'm sure we practiced a lot for a grad set, and I think
Muscle memory.
Yeah, that's like where the muscle memory, the practice, like took over.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember that moment it happened. Like I had some like house music. Like I was introducing house into my set. Like it was very like funk, hip hop, like the first couple minutes. But then I remember as soon as the house drop hit, the bass I don't know what it was. It just like hit me, and it was like tunnel vision.
I think I remember that part.
It was insane,
Yeah.
and like I feel like I blacked out on stage or browned out on stage. You know,
Really?
like I don't remember those moments. I don't remember that specific moment because I was just so in the moment.
Really.
And like I think that's what you call flow, like a flow state.
Uh-huh.
And that's a high I'm always trying to chase. It's
Yeah.
really hard to come across.
Yeah. Like, cause once we start having like all these gigs and going through, gig by gig, like each weekend, you sometimes get numb to the fact that it's like, this is something special that we're doing. And, you might be DJing a night where, two couples meet, for the first time.
Yeah.
And, we don't think about that sometimes. We always think about like what time's our slot time, how much you
Yeah.
paid, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Parking.
But, I think we have like a special like job that we do, and we unite people as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I really like. So I wanted to bring up one thing. So you wore a mask
I
at
did.
graduation.
I did.
That mask, dude, honestly, like when I first saw that mask, first I saw the first advertised one where it had the eyeballs on
Oh,
it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I remember that
shit.
one. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And afterwards, yeah, we have it on the monitor right here. You have like a glittering mask, and I was looking up on stage. I was like, dude, that's so genius. Like that's so cool to have, because first you don't see a lot of people like DJing with that, on, and it's just very unique. And I think what you advertise is like uniqueness for sure.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
You should wear it more often.
I get that a lot, but I'm
Uh-huh.
like, is it functional?
Was
You
it
know,
the?
like-
I mean, could you see through that?
yeah,
right
I could see perfectly through that,
Okay.
but like, I don't know. Maybe I will bring the mask back, but
Yeah, maybe for like big shows, like
Yeah.
special occasions.
I remember before your set, you walked up without the mask. And you did, can you go to a picture where he's like ducking down? We saw it earlier.
Go back
we
to
weren't
it.
ready.
Right here, like, so
Just
he
DNICS
ducked
back.
down, he put the mask on, and he pressed play, and he like rose up slowly. That shit was like fucking legit, bro. I still listen to your grab mix to this
Yeah, I
day, bro.
appreciate
Honestly,
that.
it was like really good. I think yours and Wavy Dante's was for sure
Oh, yeah.
two of my favorites
Thank you.
on from our season for sure.
Yeah, you guys are the same season 9.
Yeah.
You guys probably have like stories with each other. I mean, did you guys even like hang out with each other during grad?
during grad.
during grad.
Or not? I mean, not grad. I
just
mean,
the season.
academy, like during the season.
Yeah,
like,
we were both on team So Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Shout out So
Oh, that's
Jeff.
when they started to have. Oh, okay. I
But
see.
even before that, like we would stay behind and do back to backs. Like we would session a lot. Yeah, like honestly, the studio was like a safe space for us, definitely.
It was like our home at that time.
And I like we really enjoyed it because like we learned how to scratch from each other. We would do like we listen to records, you know what I mean? Because we both collect records a lot. Yeah, we do random shit at the studio.
That's
be
cool.
It was a great time, and honestly, it wasn't all easy. You know, like I
Oh,
think
of course not.
I think people outside looking in, they're like, oh, they see the final product. Oh, you did a grad set, but people don't see like the amount of hard work that goes into it. And a lot of the people who are, you know, accepted into academy have like no experience, and that's myself included. And you know, like the first 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, like I know how to 4-bar, 8-bar mix.
Right.
But then like as the season went on, like it got gradually harder for me, and I had planned a vacation, 2 vacations before I even applied to
Oh, I
academy.
remember that. Yeah.
And I was gone for like 6 weeks total. And I remember getting back and I was like, oh shit,
like you missed a lot.
I missed so much. I know nothing. And that was around the time right before we got our mentors, and I was like feeling very lost. I was really doubting my abilities like as a DJ. I'm like, am I even qualified? Like, you know, it's like comparing yourself to your classmates, and it's not in like a competitive way, but it's like, am I
Doing enough.
doing enough, you know? And for what it was, like it was a very interesting time. It forced me to step back and reflect on what I wanted to do and to be as a DJ. And I remember in that moment when I got my mentor, I'm like, all right, I only have, how many weeks was it? Like 8 weeks or something to prep for grad, like with your mentor. And I was like, this is the time I have to like step up, because grad is something that I like had looked forward to from the very beginning. And I was like, it's now or never. I'm putting as much time as humanly possible into working on my grad set, and that's exactly what I did. And I don't want to like sound cocky or anything, but like I love my grad set because it proved to me, I proved to myself that I could make something dope and, you know, work hard on it. And yeah,
I like what you said there. Like you proved to yourself. Like it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Like as long as you enjoyed it, like that's beautiful.
yeah, I
I
love
just
my
wanted to say
set.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not being about cocky. It's like you're confident and you want to be confident in yourself. I think people get that mixed up.
It's like a stigma, right?
Yeah, and looking from outside to in, like you obviously, say if there's like another DJ, right, and they're popping, right, but you know you are comparing yourself all the time. Right, you may think that their confidence is like cocky, where you know they could just do all this stuff like just because, but you know they do that stuff, or they have this sense of confidence because they put in the amount of hours and work that you have to put in to be a successful DJ. So yeah, like preparing for grad, I don't know, like a lot of people, I think they don't think that like, you know, graduation's that big of a deal, but for like if you're going through it as a student, right, it's a very big deal.
Yep.
And once you hit that stage, it's something, it's like a milestone for you. So you want to do the best that you can for sure. And obviously, like, you don't want to embarrass yourself and stuff, but at the same time, like, you're there to put on a show for your family, for your friends, and for yourself too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So after you graduated, what were you really doing with like DJing and stuff? Were you still working when you were going through
I was.
academy?
Yeah, I remember I invited my boss. I invited all my coworkers.
Damn.
And they're like, damn, you killed it. That was a great feeling.
Were
you
they
know?
like, you could DJ at our company thing?
I did DJ at a company thing
yeah?
afterwards. But it was crazy,
Nice.
like a week after grad, like COVID hit. Or like that's like when peak COVID hit. And we had
Wow.
Oh,
like,
that's
no
right, dude.
gigs.
That's
We had-
crazy.
Damn.
it was a very interesting time, and like I've talked about it with DNICS, we talked about it in our season, but I guess having COVID really changed our hunger or, you know, our want to DJ, right? Like we
can go one way or the other,
exactly.
right? You can like want to DJ, or you can like easily just drop it.
Yeah.
So damn, that's crazy. I totally
Thanks.
forgot about that whole thing where you guys graduated and then boom, COVID. Because when I did my season, I just like went out
Straight out to the gate.
Yeah, straight out and like went into the game of playing at different places and stuff. Oh, is this your season right here?
Yeah.
Dang. So it's what? Oh, fuck, I can't see. We were wearing sunglasses because Miko as our guest wanted to wear sunglasses. I'm like, oh, fuck it, like let's wear it, but I could barely see.
Bro, we look so young there.
That's crazy.
I mean, like I know we look the
man.
same, but like thinking about that time, like we could tell we know that our minds were like super young back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Bright
that was
eyed.
already like what 2-3 years ago. That was like 3 years
Yeah.
ago already. That's
Damn.
wild.
Dude, time flies, man.
Shout out season 9. I love you guys. I really
Yeah,
do.
man.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you work with Frank and Sedusa as well for
Isolation.
for isolation. So
Yeah.
let's go into that. So
Yeah.
let me put my sunglasses back on. Sorry, I'm blind, man. I have astigmatism on my left eye. I'm colorblind. Like my eyes are not good. I'd replace my eyes if I could, for sure. Anyways, going into isolation. So, I mean, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about isolation right now?
I love Isolation. Isolation's like my family.
Yeah.
Love that.
Frank and Michelle, like I've gotten really close to them over this whole process. And
Tristan
Tristan,
too.
Tristan, Chair. We added Chair recently, but yeah, it first started off with just me, Michelle, Frank, and it was, how do I describe it? Michelle had this residency at a club in Costa Mesa, and she asked me, hey, would you like to DJ for me? They're giving me a night in the patio. I'm like, yeah, sure. And we did it. We planned it. And it really popped off. Like, it was a lot of fun. And, all our friends came out.
Was
And
this the first event?
this was the first one.
Wow, that's beautiful, bro.
I think I went to the second one. Was it?
Second.
I think it was when Tristan had that killer set.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Tristan. I think we had just added him to the team. And Tristan has been great on our team. Like, I think he gives us a lot of, like, the back end sort of stuff. Like, he's really good at planning. He's good at coordinating things. Tristan's a great person.
Yeah,
He's
shout
a
out
seasoned vet,
Tristan,
too.
man.
Yeah.
He's a seasoned vet for sure.
He's a dope ass DJ. Like, Tristan is definitely one of my favorite DJs.
Oh,
and
me too, bro. 100%.
very humble, and he's very
Yeah.
like soft spoken, and like I like to think that he lets the music or like his abilities speak for itself, and that's just how I feel when I hear him.
So crazy, bro. He deserves more love because like all his video routines, dog.
Dude, the
Yeah.
skill level
It's
is
wild.
so high. It
Like-
just gets better and better every year.
Yeah.
I mean, not every post,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous. Sometimes you're just kind of like, what? How did you do that? It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think one thing when I did go to your guys' show, the first thing that I felt is that it was all about the music. It was all about the environment and kind of safe place to have.
Yeah.
I think every group should strive for that attitude because that's how you bring back more people into your events. Do you have any like stories about like running an event, like anything stressful good? Because I know there's so many stories for Soul Control. Like, I
Yeah.
just want to like hear something from
Yeah.
Isolation.
So yeah, we would regularly have our events in the patio at in Costa Mesa
At Legacy, right?
at Legacy, yeah, and we would share the indoor and outdoor, but there's only one entrance, so it was interesting working with the company or the club, and like we're young, we're still learning how to plan events and stuff, but they had this one night where they had an event inside and an event outside, but everybody had to wait through the same line, and like we wanted to get our people in as soon as possible, but this line is super long, and I remember there was the promoter for the other party. He was upset that we were trying to bring our people in, and it was
Through guest list or
yeah, like we had our own guest list, like people RSVP'd and everything, and he was just, he was like pressing up on us. He's being really aggressive.
I know
Say
that management over there was a little hard to work with because I mean Soul Control, we had a gig there as well, and it was right after they cleaned up everything. Like the way it looks now, that's not how it looked
Back
3 years
then.
ago. Yeah, for sure. So after they renovated and did all that stuff, I think they also changed management as well because before they're a little bit easier to talk to, but now it's like all about like security, like how many bottle service,
Yep.
blah blah. and sometimes that kind of takes away from what you're trying to establish as a party. So
Just different intentions, you know,
Yeah.
like it's like some people
because they're looking at it as like a business standpoint,
Yeah.
and like how you're bringing in like revenue and like some money in. But yeah, it's like it's a shame because sometimes like people don't meet eye to eye with that stuff.
Yeah.
But when you do find that, it's so nice to have.
Yeah.
For sure.
Someone like finding a venue or like a host who wants
Like a
you know-
home,
Yeah, like a
basically.
home, and they genuinely want to work with you and like see your party grow. I think that's amazing.
It's,
yeah.
it's like rare to find nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of venues are about chasing their bag, which I don't knock, obviously. You know what I mean? You need to make money, especially after the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
But everything's bottle service right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least the venues that are like really good. I
Yeah.
guess they're bottle service. How many people can you bring through the door? Which is important, but also for us music lovers, it's also like, well, we could throw a double event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we can't guarantee you this much because everything changes. You know what I mean? People get older. People don't want to go out as much anymore. Yeah, man. It's kind of like I guess it's just a little challenging nowadays to throw not a successful event, but like an event that you could guarantee is gonna be a dope night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everything is kind of unpredictable sometimes.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
I agree. It's
I
kind of
s-
like walking on a tightrope, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to be able to bring people in. You want to please wherever you're booked, right? You want to bring people in, sell bottles, but you also want to do that expressive standpoint or expressive. You know, like you want to play your music and like share music with people, bring people together. So it's like a balancing act almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to set aside the creativeness and think as a businessman first.
Yeah,
though.
I agree.
100%.
Because first, like, one, you don't want to get taken advantage of, and two is that you have to talk about that stuff with management, percentage of the bar, because in the end it could help you in the long run, right? So if you work out your wages and you figure out a certain way to help you out, but also help out the venue that you're at, both parties are left happy. So
Yeah.
I agree.
that's like if you ever want to start an event, just know that just one night isn't gonna really show you the ropes. Like you have to go through these types of situations to know that it's not all great, but at the same time the great moments are really great for me. So
It's about the process, you know.
oh yeah definitely
just-
the process.
And I just want to thank Legacy for their space, you know,
Right.
like to trust us to bring in people and like to allow us to
they
play
have a
the
nice
music we-
pool. They have a good pool there.
Yeah, it's a great venue, and like they for the most part treated us with respect, and they wanted to work with us, and it was a good time when we had our events there. But at a certain point, we were like, it's time to move on, and
Yeah.
kind of just been exploring like different venues, different spaces. But yeah, ever since more about Isoulation, like we've been going really hard actually, like since it first started. Like we've had like 1 to 2, sometimes 3 events every month since like last year, and we took a break recently because I talked like I was personally burnt out. We were throwing events every weekend, and
That's tiring for sure.
it was
Yeah.
exhausting, and I wanted to be on the same page, like with Michelle, Frank, Tristan, like Chair, and tell them, hey, like this is what's on my mind. This is how I'm feeling right now. So I think it's great that we have a break because I think we really need it. Rest is so important.
Yeah, man.
Rest is key. Like just in general, like if you're working out, rest. Some people are like, "Oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead." I think that's I think that's a detriment, But
That's
yeah.
so bad, bro.
It's so bad.
I mean, well, there's a lot of benefits to like just nonstop working. Obviously, the consistency. If you're consistent, you're obviously gonna have a consistent night, and then like obviously a crowd that's gonna follow. You just gotta know yourself, though.
Yeah.
If once you start to know yourself and how you work, then you kind of figure out like, when you need to take breaks, when you can go ham. So definitely, like some people like don't need breaks. Like if you look at Diho, if you look at Michelle, like they're just nonstop going every week because that's what they love and that's what drives them. So
Yeah.
like that's all respect to them. All
Right.
respect
So
to
much
them.
respect. Yeah.
100%.
Because we've gone through it.
I want to get Michelle on here.
Yeah.
I want to get
Yeah.
Dio on here. I want to get like everyone on here for sure.
Hell yeah, man.
Just to pick their brain a little bit.
Yeah. I would
And
love
they
to
can pick
listen.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're listening to Diho, you're
Hello.
literally right
Or
next
Michelle.
door. If you
Yeah.
ever listen to this podcast, you can just come through whenever. I'll just text
I'll
you.
send it. Yeah, I'll send it to
Every other Sunday probably. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So after Isolation, would you say was World Peace? Is that when it
Well,
started?
I mean, Isolation. You also had Bounce House.
Oh,
we
Bounce
did,
House.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's
And you
right.
guys are. Is it a residency over there?
It's basically our space with commissary. Like Diho just wanted a book on Thursday nights, and he was looking to bring in people on Thursdays. So Michelle's birthday was obviously the best opportunity to do it. Best way to bring people in is a birthday celebration, and that's what we did. And the name Bounce House was actually given to us by one of Frank's friends. We had like our first back-to-back set, and Frank's friend came through, and he was like, "Oh man, I was jumping the whole time. This is the Bounce House, you know." And we took that name and like we made it our mixed name. And
Nice. Yeah.
for Michelle's birthday, we're like, why don't we call it Bounce House? And then Diho went and bought a Bounce House
Yeah.
for the event.
What
So-
is it every like last Thursday of the month, or because I know you guys do it consistently. You guys had like what 3 so far?
I think it's every Thursday, right?
Is it
every
every
Thursday,
Thursday?
but I believe
It's
moving forward, I think it's gonna be once a month.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
That's cool.
but
Yeah.
like for the past like month or so, it's been about every week, every 2 weeks. So
How long have you been taking your break from just like DJing for Isolation or like whatever?
it's very rare that I take breaks.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all I think about. Like it keeps me up at night. Like it's my job.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're gonna go back to it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I think okay, so the next Isolation event we have is for Frank's birthday.
Nice.
And it's a bounce house. It's gonna be at commissary, but yeah.
shout out to Deja Vu,
Shout out Frank.
season
Can
9
y'all
brother.
blow up that Bounce House every Thursday?
We did okay. The first time we had to do it ourselves.
Okay.
And we were like testing it out. Like they were doing promo for Michelle, so they were taking photos. We were taking photos on it.
Wait, didn't Tristan like?
Tristan tried doing a backflip, and then like I think his like his ankles gave out, and then he ended up kneeing his own nose. And then he got on the floor. He's like, "Oh," you were like, "What's wrong?" And you just see the blood gushing. We're like, "Oh my god."
Dude, that Bounce House is all white too.
It's
Was there
all
blood?
white. There was no blood on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
shit.
glad Tristan's safe. I don't think he broke anything. But after that, we're like, okay, no one's allowed to like jump on the Bounce House because like that's
Oh, so nobody jumps on it.
nobody jumps
Oh,
on it.
okay,
It's a
okay.
It's
liability.
just for like
photo op.
pictures, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Damn.
But yeah, it was that was a fun day. It was very random. I was like, hey,
Here we go. We have
Oh,
Miko
yeah.
jumping
Oh,
on the
wow.
bounce house.
Dude, that Bounce House looks stiff as hell.
it was very
Oh, is it like
sturdy,
very bouncy?
very bouncy.
But like it seems like if you land on it wrong, it'll
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
You'll hurt a little
It's
bit.
not like soft.
No, but that's actually like really good.
That's a
marketing.
good. Yeah, that's good
Great
branding for
marketing.
sure. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Shout
Dude,
out
those
D-Hill.
bags are sick too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Shout out Kenny. Kenny got those made kiss.
Hey, shout out
Nice.
to Kenny. Yeah, shout out to Dio and Commissary, bro. Like that's a dope opportunity to throw an event at Bounce House at Commissary, because that venue he 2.0 that shit like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Much respect.
Yeah, look at
this
this
is
broken
Tristan
nose.
right here.
We're all just hanging out on the Bounce House.
Dang. You guys are probably so.
Oh,
Oh, my
shit.
goodness.
There's so much blood.
Tristan. So on the monitor right here, we're showing like Tristan's blood coming out, gushing out of his nose. He's like wrapped up right there. Oh my god.
And he still killed it. His set was dope. But yeah, that was
Damn, bro.
Dude, that's a lot of blood. Yeah,
It-
that
it was
is
a lot.
blood.
That's crazy.
Good thing he's studying to be a nurse.
I'm
now.
glad he's okay.
He can take care of his fucking nose by himself.
glad you're all right.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, you guys are like killing it like every Thursday. Obviously, you're going to do like once a month now, but you guys are on a really good run with just like advertising it, it'd be consistent and it would just show up on my feed a lot. And with like Instagram algorithm now, it's like you constantly have to post like 24/7 to
Yeah.
even stay relevant and stuff. So that's what like Soul Control like struggles with now, is because we've taken a long break and we're like starting to get back into it, but it's like now we're kind of playing the catch up game, right? So it's it's a lot of effort that you have to put in for just like running an event and
Yeah.
like posting, because I know that DNICS does a lot of our posts for Soul Control. It gets he could tell you
It
all
gets
that.
tiring.
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
A lot of respect to anyone who does like, who posts on social media consistently. Like Michelle, she does it for us, and respect to her, like that's the game. You got to
Yeah.
be consistent. Like you got to play to the algorithm almost. But Michelle is basically like she leads us, and we just support her.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a lot of like things to learn about marketing. You know what I mean? It's not just post this at this time anymore because there's an algorithm, obviously. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you got to really learn like what's new, what's gonna catch people's eyes
What do
and
people
shit.
like,
if there's a meme going around Twitter right now in DJ Twitter about you have to post a selfie first and then the flyer.
that was one of your captions. It was like,
here's here's my
here's my photo. Here's
my quota for the for my selfie and my DJ flyer. And like I've noticed because I posted Family Ties on I think I posted it on Friday night, and then I posted the flyer first and then a video of me, and that didn't get as many likes as a picture of me first and then the flyer. So it's like really interesting.
how
I don't
it
know. I
works,
don't know
right?
what it is, bro. What people look for, but that's just super. I don't know. Super interesting.
It's
to
the
me.
algorithm. I don't know how to. Is it? I don't know if it's AI. I think it is AI.
Probably
but-
AI, dude. Honestly.
But yeah, social
Allen
media.
Iverson.
It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah, social media is hard to keep up.
Everything that you do is like basketball related.
With. Yeah, man. It has to be right now. We're trying to get better.
Oh,
Adult
hell
leagues
yeah.
coming up. Right,
Miko,
Jacob?
are you gonna be
Adult
on the
league?
team again? Are you thinking about it?
Do you
He's on the
think you
board.
want to?
Hey,
I'm shy,
Ben's
but-
listening to this. He's
All right,
gonna.
Ben.
He wants to know.
Our team, our coach.
All right, I gotta redeem myself because we would have meetings every Monday, and I think that's when you guys would practice.
Yeah,
you
play
know?
basketball.
yeah.
And then our games would be on Wednesday, and I didn't feel prepared, because I didn't get to play with the team or, But maybe
You did
just-
really well though when you were
I think I did okay.
because your defense was really well. You had a nice shot. Like you didn't have to do too much dribbling.
You run really fast.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
And you're tall too.
It's
so.
some long legs.
Hey, now that I'm like getting my health back and getting my fitness right, maybe
Yeah, man.
Maybe I'll be able to
I
keep
think
up.
we're all on a health kick right now.
Yeah,
That's the way.
I am.
Yeah.
I've been slacking on basketball though lately.
It's okay as long as you're on your health kick, bro. That's all that really matters.
That's true. That's true.
health is wealth.
What about you, Jacob? How's your health kick going?
Honestly, it's not the best right now.
It's okay. He kills it on the court though. He's always like the one to grab the rebound or like get through traffic and shit. Yeah. If you're guarding Jacob, good luck. Honestly.
Ballin'.
He's a truck. He's a truck for sure.
All right, let's
But
move
he
on.
travels a lot.
He travels a lot. he tries to justify his travels though. So
We have a group chat on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Instagram, and he's always posting these like basketball tutorial videos on
cleaner
like,
travel.
cleaner travels. And then now I go on the chat and I see these. I'm just like, all right, Jacob, we get it. You're trying to just like prove that you don't travel, but
Yeah.
you know what?
Shout out to Anthony and Jacob. They're behind the scenes right now. They're wearing sunglasses as well.
yeah,
Man. We're all here with sunglasses right now. It's pretty dope.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
vibe.
For
Let's
sure.
continue though. Let's talk about. Well, we did talk about World Peace. Did you want to talk about anything else about World
Yeah,
Peace?
I
I mean, but what do you? I mean, so for world peace, like, where do you want to take it? Do you want to stay in
what's
LA
the plan?
or do you want to kind of move it around?
I kind of want to move it around. I mean, like, shout out to Hilton for having me there.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
It's a beautiful space. It's a beautiful venue. But, I
Hilton.
wanted something with that was more accessible. Like, I want to bring more friends and family in. And the original concept I had written it down back when I was a student at Academy. But I wrote it down. And I was like, oh, world peace. It's a play on words,
Wait,
like,
so you had this plan like back?
not necessarily like planned it. It was just like an idea I had written
Oh,
down.
okay,
Ah,
okay,
I
got it,
see,
got it,
I
got it.
But
see.
ever since I graduated, I had it on my whiteboard, like projects to do. And, when my friend Ron hit me up,
He has
I
a
was like,
whiteboard too. He has
let's
a
do
whiteboard
it.
too.
Yeah.
Gotta get a whiteboard.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, with world peace, like, it's a lot of fun just being able to like express myself creatively. Like, I don't want it to be just about the music. I want to be able to give back to the community. And like with this most recent event, I opened up donations, worked with my friend Ron.
That's beautiful, bro.
And
Yeah.
it was honestly, we had 2 full bins of donations brought in, and it really like made me, I don't know, fuzzy inside. I don't know, it's just like to see that people are wanting and willing to give back, like it's so beautiful. Like, I think the world needs more of that. And yeah, I want it to be like not just about the music, right? Like I said, I want it to be about art. And we were talking about NFTs earlier, and it was funny when I started printing these. I was like, I want to make my own version of the NFT. So
Yeah, why not?
and
Why
I was like, let's go back to the basics. Like, let's make physical NFTs, and
Yeah, man.
and it was crazy. I sold out on the day of, and
Yo, that's dope.
I was like, wow. it's interesting like how my relationship with like art, like ever since I was a kid, I was always like drawing. And I remember I went to private school. Every Wednesday we would have bake sale, and I would draw Maple Story comics and sell it to my friends for 50 cents just so I could buy donuts.
Entrepreneur right there, bro. 50
You hustling
cents.
with drawings and shit. Not even candy, just drawings.
No, just drawings. And like that's what I love to do, and like my friends loved it, so I was like, I'll just do it.
I think you're definitely hella artistic, bro. Like when you go into Miko's room, there's like cover art everywhere.
Dude,
And,
yeah, I
like-
just see like videos of when you practice and stuff. Like, do you live in the attic of the house, or like it just your room looks
His room
really
is dope as hell, dude.
Your room looks really unique.
So I think I mean we weren't the first ones to live there, but I believe that my room they like made it into a room. So like part
Your room was made into
it, like
a
so
room?
I believe my room before it was like part of the living room. So it was like a higher
Oh.
ceiling, but then they
Oh,
wanted
that
to
makes
add
a
Oh,
lot
they
of
just
sense.
added another floor.
They added another floor.
Ah, I see.
And
beautiful.
yeah, it was very interesting. Like
So you are in the attic.
I am pretty much in the attic. It gets hot in there, and the thing about my room is,
Shit.
have you seen like my actual like where my bed is?
Yeah, it's in the
Dude,
closet.
It's in the closet part of the bed, and
Oh, you have to pull it out as one of those?
no, it's like literally in the closet, like
It's like a
Oh,
walk-in
okay.
closet.
it's like a walk-in. It's like a, and it's part of the attic
I
where
need to see this damn
the
room
the,
right
the
now.
ceiling is like slanted, and
Oh, this is your stream right here.
right there, yeah, I love collecting like concert posters. Like
Yeah,
that's
dude,
one of the
look
things
at
I
that
look forward
shit.
to.
I want my room to look like that. It's
Dude,
like
yeah.
very maximalist for sure.
Yeah, on the monitor we're watching Freako do his live stream. Dude, honestly, I want to do some live streams, man.
We could do.
But I,
we
but
could
I
do
don't
that.
have. Yeah, let's do like a side room live stream.
I have the shit
That'd be
for
cool.
bro.
Yeah, I mean I don't because I'll
Just need a
like,
webcam,
put
that's
up.
it.
So yeah, look at this.
Look at his
room
hat,
is
dude. That's fucking
crazy.
Just messing around with OBS.
Wow.
I had bought that green beanie. I bought a green like ski mask when I went to New York.
And you brought a
during-
green hat. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, now I remember.
and I was like, why don't I try green screening it?
And this was all during COVID too. That's insane. Like, COVID made us way more creative for sure. Well,
100%,
obviously,
bro.
like COVID was a bad year.
You're
for
just stuck
everyone, but-
inside, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's forced. It makes you like think about like outside the box.
Yeah, man. Who's that? Is that Camille?
That's Camille. There's my nephew
Is that
Kobe.
Kobe?
He's
Shout out
not
to
my
Kobe.
biological nephew. He's my sister's.
Kobe's so
dog.
friendly, dude.
He's the friendliest dog.
Okay, I can't see. I need my glasses on again. Shit. I'm just gonna put my glasses over.
Miko's room
sunglasses.
reminds me of like a high-end Harry Potter room. Like you know how Harry Potter looks
Yeah.
in the
That dog
attic
is hella
stairs?
cute. Wow, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, man. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
That's like a perfect like streaming place too. Oh, you got a lot of equipment.
Come through. This is
Yeah,
my
bro.
turntables. It's Kobe. I love Kobe. I didn't like him at first.
You didn't
he
like
was really
him?
annoying. He was really yappy. I mean, he was cute, but
Look at those
he
eyes.
shat
All
everywhere.
right, damn, Anthony, just zooming in like crazy shit.
Kobe's my bro.
Kobe's
Nice.
your bro. Nice, dude. Yeah, I want to talk more about world peace though,
Yeah.
because I noticed it's not spelled like peace,
Peace.
P-E-A-C-E.
Yeah.
It's P-I-E-C-E.
Mm.
So was that like intentional? What I thought
or
originally,
you just didn't know how to spell it.
what I thought originally was world peace, as in like you're taking a piece of like different like regions.
No, that's
Is that
exactly
exactly?
that's
wow,
exactly
see?
it.
Wow.
It's a nice play on words,
Nice,
like,
yeah,
it's interchangeable. Nice.
yeah, dude. Because you
Beautiful.
play like Afro beats, so like you play house
Afrobeat,
music,
yeah.
everything basically. Open format,
Open,
right?
It's pretty much open format.
Okay.
Like when Derek DJ'd, he was playing like 80s. He was playing like
Nice,
disco.
dude. Shout out to D Reckless, bro.
The Reckless,
Yeah,
Poppy.
man.
But yeah, I wanted to make the poster. It was just a random idea because I wanted people to be able to leave with something they could remember the event by.
Yeah, man.
So
That's hella dope.
I was like, why not? I'll print these out. I love concert posters. I want people to be able to, take one home.
Very playful. It gives me like the internet vibes, kind of.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
can
mean?
see, yeah, with these flyers too for sure.
Yeah.
It was actually a lot of it was inspired by the internet. Like
Oh, yeah?
I had one
Nice.
of their posters on my wall and they had like handwriting on it. And
I know you
let me
use
try it.
Canva. Is this from Canva or did you
Yes.
use? Okay.
So I don't exclusively use just Canva, but for like the bulk of it, I do use Canva.
Oh, okay.
but
okay.
the flyer without like any of the handwriting, I took it to this app called Procreate on my iPad, and
Oh,
I just
yeah.
started writing. Like I was like, how do I, make it pop a little bit more?
Yeah, man,
Dude, you should
definitely have
get
the eye for
into
it.
graphic design. You're really clean with it.
I would love to, honestly.
Looking at your room, looking at the flyers and stuff, like I think you, and obviously like you're using all these tools to benefit your party. Like that's actually like really cool.
Yeah, we could go to school together.
That'd be kind of cool,
Yeah, you're
actually.
doing graphic design
Doing
too.
graphic design.
I was actually thinking
Yeah.
about going back to school for
Were you?
graphic design. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
dude.
I was already a graphic design
Major at first.
and then like right when I was about to transfer,
You're like, no,
I was
switch
like,
right
oh,
away.
shit,
Yeah.
I got scared and I just switched majors.
Back
so.
down.
But I
It's
have
okay.
all the requirements and stuff.
Yeah,
but-
dude. Hell yeah. I recommend going back to school if you have the means to. But obviously not everybody has to.
You get different opportunities.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
and this it's a great networking opportunity. You know what I mean?
You
right
make the
now,
best out of it.
like me and my professor, like we're not best friends, but like we're kind of close. You know what I mean? Because we talk
Yeah.
a lot about like hip hop. Because he used to be a b-boy back in the day and a DJ, and he knows that I'm a DJ, and like he's like the dean of the arts section
wow.
at Cypress College. So yeah, shout out to Ed. That's the homie.
Shout out Ed.
Shout out to
He's
Ed.
like building his own pizza truck right now too. So
Damn, that's pretty cool.
yeah, dude, he's pretty tight. But yeah, I wanted to ask you. So, with your musical taste, right? So you play a lot of like old school stuff. Obviously, you collect records. You know what I mean? You play house music. You like Jay Dilla, obviously. I wanted to ask you, what was the sound like growing up when you were younger? Were you influenced by that, or is it kind of newer that you experienced these kind of sounds?
I was definitely influenced heavily by my dad's side of the family. Like
Hey.
my parents were divorced, but I'd spend time with my dad's side of the family like every weekend, and they'd play like R&B, like was it Too Close by Next? Like that'd be on the radio at the time.
Right,
and,
yeah.
And it was very interesting because at the time I remember telling my ninang, my aunt, I was like, I hate music. Because like at that time, like I
hate
didn't
music.
I to me at the time it was just noise because like there wasn't anything really out there that I had liked at the time.
Right.
But it wasn't until I went to public school where like I started like enjoying music, just for fun. Shout out MySpace. I think that was a great way for people to get into music, to share music. And in junior high, like I remember all these kids, they were like banging on the locker, the lockers during PE, and they were yelling, "It was all a dream," and they were like rapping.
that's
I was
tight.
like, what is this?
Yeah, that was actually like very persuasive.
It was like-
how,
it was
you,
like-
how you said it too.
It was all a dream.
And like I remember I memorized it just like like fit in, like I listened to Biggie, and it was cool. Like going to public school definitely opened a lot of perspective.
100%,
Yeah, it was cool.
Where'd
What
you
was-
go? You went to Troy, right?
I went to Troy junior high. I went to
He's
Nicholas.
smart. He's smart.
I'm
Smart
okay.
kids go to Troy for sure.
I don't know any of these.
Oh, you
schools.
don't? I
No, I
think.
don't.
But Troy, don't you have to get accepted into Troy?
You could. So there's a magnet program. There's a tech program. There's a IB program.
I did IB at my
IB?
school, but my school's in the hood though. So.
Damn,
Cerritos never had any of that stuff.
You guys had the Tagalog though. I wish we had.
that's
that
cool
shit.
actually.
That's it. That's
I mean, for
it.
me personally, I wish I had that.
I
You know
mean,
what
yeah, but it's just like compared to like just having a language class
Yeah.
to like having kind of like a career class,
Mhm.
it's definitely different for
Yeah.
sure. But I mean, where you came from, like obviously like you're smart enough to kind of obviously graduate college, and then you made the decision to be a DJ, and obviously you're killing it out right now.
Yeah.
And you're creating for yourself, and at least you're not just like hoping for gigs to come your way. You're making your own opportunities.
Yeah.
So it's just like sometimes like stuff may not go your way, so sometimes you have to force it. So,
Yeah.
So I really respect that.
Thank
that
you.
hard work for sure. So we hit our 1 hour mark. And by this time, we have this new segment called the Sidebar. Anthony came
The
up with
Sidebar.
it last episode. So Anthony, so you have there's some questions written down for the what's it called?
Oh
the,
shit! I can't.
the
Okay, there you go.
sidebar.
I was like, oh. Fuck.
Or Anthony, you can just ask us right now about the questions.
So from Audrey,
Oh my god.
she
Shout out Audrey, DNICS girl.
she wanted to ask, what's y'all's favorite Shrek movie?
We already talked about this.
I
dude.
know. I think Shrek 2 is the best.
Shrek 2 is the best.
I agree.
Yeah,
Shrek 2 is great.
Yeah, I think we did talk about how Shrek 1 was. I forgot what word we used, but it is important to like the series of Shrek, but Shrek 2 was definitely the contender that will always be the best. To
If
me.
you were to be a character in Shrek, who would you be?
I'd be Donkey, bro.
You'd be Donkey.
Yeah, I'd be Donkey. That fool is funny as fuck.
I'll be Gingy.
Gingy. I could see you totally as a Gingy. Not
my gumdrops.
Man. Damn. Who
Oh,
would
yeah.
I be?
Fuck. But yeah,
I like Donkey too. For
you
sure.
like Donkey.
He's funny.
What else characters are there?
Oh, obviously.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Three Little Pigs.
Two Little Pigs. Yeah, they're all.
I haven't
mediocre.
watched Shrek in so long.
Prince
though.
Charming.
When did Shrek come out?
Like 2000, right?
Bro,
Around
sometime
there.
early 2000s, dog.
Anthony, when did Shrek come out?
Donkey. There we go. That's all of
Donkey.
us.
What year did it come out on? The first one, the first Shrek.
Say 2002. 2001. I was
2001.
close.
2001. Holy shit!
Damn.
21 years ago.
Shout out Smash Mouth All
Oh
Star.
my goodness.
I feel like the CGI still holds up to this day. Like for what it was, like it
Oh, yeah.
it was really good. You
Yeah.
know?
You'd probably think that'd come out in like 2010,
Yeah, actually,
2010, 2011.
I like what they did.
from my swamp.
They built upon the idea of Shrek 1, and I think they definitely made a better
I
storyline.
look
Yeah.
like Shrek. I look like Donkey, actually. Just kidding. I don't
Dude,
know.
you know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about your hair.
Oh yeah,
That's like
his
that was
hair.
like one of the things I wanted to talk about, and then we just didn't even talk. We just like dove straight into like.
All right,
DJing.
let's
having
do, let's
fun
do
over
these
here.
first, and then real quick we'll get into his hair, and
I
then
talk about his hair so
yeah.
bad. I'm just kidding.
All right, so from Earl, he wants to know, in your opinion, how has DJing scene changed in the last 2 years?
Jesus, that's a loaded
wow,
question.
that is a loaded question. I mean,
In the last 2 years, okay, so obviously like 2020, we're still kind of in pandemic for sure, but I think a lot of new parties came out. I mean the original parties like Arena and like Rewind. Shout out Diho and Zeb, Adrian, all of them. Like they still came around and they're very predominant at the very beginning. But for
Right.
like Soul Control or for like Isolation, like we had to kind of almost start at like ground zero again.
Mhm.
And I feel like 2 years ago, a lot of people were kind of scared to DJ because it's like you don't want to get anyone sick when you go
Yeah.
out. And like I never really got sick, but I know that people got sick from being out to like these events because you want to throw these events to have a good time, but you also don't want to make an event and then people get sick out.
Put
of it.
people at
So it was a
risk.
little bit scarier during 2020 for sure.
Yeah.
A little bit on your toes.
I don't know. I mean, like we had just started DJing like past 2 years, but
That's true.
it's been interesting. It's been an interesting experience. Like what I believe is like after COVID hit, everybody wanted to go out, or like not after everything started to like calm down
People
a
were
little bit.
itching.
People were itching to go
Yeah.
out, and I remember when like I think it was like last April. That's like when clubs started reopening. Like those are some of the craziest times I had at the club.
That's
That's true.
arena
That is
arena
true.
grand opening. That was one of the craziest
Oh,
nights I've
without the
had
mask
ever.
mandates and
Without
shit
the
like that?
mask mandate, that was crazy. And like I got home at like 8 a.m. Shout out Dexter.
crazy.
But yeah, that was
Everyone kind of like walked around like. Are like
Nobody
is
knew
it-
what to
Is it
do.
okay if like
Yeah.
we're here? And then once started people drinking.
I would definitely walk
Right.
through the crowd with my mask, and then when I get on the stage, because obviously they don't allow everybody on stage. I
Yeah.
had to take it off. You know what I mean?
You're still indoors though.
Yeah, no,
You're
I don't think about it sometimes.
ventilation.
There has definitely been sets where I play with my mask on. I might start wearing it again because I feel like things are getting like rising up a little bit again. but
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
You can't really stop it though. I think something
It's
that
it's COVID. It's gonna be.
it's
here
always
forever.
gonna be around, bro.
Yeah.
So it's not like to say that we don't care. It's just like we can't expect it to go away right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
For me, I just don't want to live in a shell for the rest of my life.
That's true,
So
too.
That's just me. My
100%.
opinion.
Just
for
live
sure.
life.
and we're doing our best. We got like we're vaxxed up, obviously. We're not being reckless. Like we're not like gonna drink.
If
out of
I'm
the same
sick,
cup
I'm
and
just gonna
shit,
stay
You
home.
know what I mean?
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah.
sick, I'm staying home.
But yeah,
responsible. Enjoy responsibly. That's what
responsibly.
I
That's a good word. Yeah.
like to say.
Yeah.
Socialize responsibly.
Yeah.
But I think like music wise, I think it's different because when I think about how I was in 2020 and then now, I'm way less of a party person and I'm
Mhm.
more of like thinking of like good
Good
energy
music,
and
good
good
energy,
vibes
yeah.
and stuff, and like certain tracks, and not like so much of like, oh, this is a great big party, right?
Right.
I want to go to something where I'll feel comfortable, and I don't know, like as you get older, you kind of get more picky about like certain things too.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys feel the same way about?
I feel the same way,
do.
honestly. It comes also with like the crowd that it's bringing in. You know what I mean? Like obviously you have the club goers who are younger, and they want to hear the same stuff. Like for me personally, as a DJ, I don't like blast that much, to be honest, 'cause I hear it a lot. But a lot of
Blast?
people will like go to the club for
Well, all his
blast.
music sounds the same,
Exactly.
but I mean,
It's good music though.
good music.
Yeah, but
Good
it just
music.
sounds the same to me personally. But I do think like the last 2 years, a lot has changed. Like the sound, I think, becoming more electronic. I don't know if electronic's the right word. Right now, there's like
A lot more people like house music now.
Yep.
yeah, a lot of people like house music.
House is in for sure.
Yeah, there's like a discrepancy with like what is house and what is EDM kind of. I've been like
True.
looking at like a lot of articles, and then like Road Podcast like just came out with an episode talking about that. So I've been listening to that too, because
Like Chicago underground.
Chicago house, like there's like tech house, but then people are saying like the older heads. I don't want to call it older heads, but they call it more techno than it is like tech house. You know what I mean?
I see.
So I don't know. There's like a lot of politics going around about it and shit.
I mean, bounce house is a house.
Yeah.
This house, yeah.
I would say
a
it's more
house
like
band.
tech house,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And then Isoulation is more like SoundCloud bounce.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that too, because even like bounce, I learned isn't really like it's like more SoundCloud sounds, right? But then bounce is actually
Bounce
like
edits.
it's New Orleans,
New
right?
Orleans,
Yeah, New
like
Orleans
twerking
bounce.
music.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until like this year.
It's like different terms in different areas.
yeah.
for
So
sure.
like it depends where you were at.
Yeah.
For sure.
A lot of regional differences, but
Yeah.
All right, we'll
yeah,
get
move
into the
on.
last question. So Ben right here, he had like some deep ass questions. When I did this post for the sidebar, you could comment basically any question. Dude, this guy put like 4 questions, all deep as hell. I felt like I was getting interviewed. I mean, I think he's a recruiter, right?
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah,
He's a recruiter.
I think
but-
so.
I think he got promoted, but
He's
I think he was or is a recruiter. But anyways, let's
Yeah.
read this next question.
So Benzo wants to know, if you had to give up your current creative passions and pick a new passion, what would you pick and why?
Current creative passions. Wow.
I got one. I'd be a dancer.
Oh yeah, you would totally be.
I would
could
love
totally see you do that.
Like that was like in high school. I'd always watch like Vibe, on YouTube.
You watch Vibe a lot?
I would watch World of Dance and all that. I remember I couldn't afford going to I didn't have transportation at the
Wait,
time.
why is that so funny to you?
Because it just brings back PTSD.
Oh, shit.
It's not PTSD. It's not the right word, but
Well,
like
but
for
you're-
Vibe. Because
yeah.
I used to compete at Vibe with Kaba Modern. Shout out to Kaba Modern, but
There's a lot of anxiety.
no, we would just practice like long hours. We'd have something called Heaven Week, but we changed the name because it's like
Hell Week,
known as
right?
Hell Week, and like that means like a week of practice straight.
Yeah.
And we would start practice at 8 p.m. and not get out until we're finished for that day. So
Damn.
like if that means 7 a.m., there was practices where we'd start at 8 p.m. and practice at 7 a.m. and we would go to the Anteater, like their cafeteria at UCI, and we would just eat breakfast. Like we'd get
Damn.
swiped in and shit like that. But bro, like it was such a bad. It was so unhealthy, dude. Like honestly, good memories though.
Yeah.
But very
But
unhealthy.
you're sacrificing that time to have that moment.
Yeah,
within the
and
crowd.
like at times, like when I was younger, it made sense. You know what I mean? Because I'm like young, I want to like be with my friends, and then now I'm
Yeah.
older, I'm just like, why did I do that? You know what I mean? So I definitely wouldn't go back to it, but I don't like regret.
not that extreme.
It was
Yeah.
an
Not that
experience,
extreme.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
definitely
do you take
expensive.
dance classes and stuff?
I've taken only like a handful of workshops in my life, but like when I was younger, I didn't have the transportation, and like my parents didn't want to, bring, or my parents were busy. They didn't want to pay for classes. I remember I wanted to try out for TM Juniors. I didn't have
Shout out B.
transportation. Shout out, yeah.
B was on TM Juniors too.
Damn.
I have no idea what that is, but I mean, I know that she was
Team
in like a
Millennium,
dancer
yeah.
or something like that.
So do you think like in the future you'd get into it?
I mean, I like to dance like when I'm out, like
line dancing. a lot,
line
bro?
dancing, just whatever. But
but he's saying like if he were to swap, he'd be like dope ass dancer.
I would love to
that's
dance.
for sure
yeah.
what you would like.
I don't know what
choose.
it is. Like I just love to move, and
Nice,
I
dude.
studied that in college, and I don't know. It's like self-expression, just being
Yeah,
able to
man,
move around and
100%.
Those dancers are hot as hell.
Yeah, my best
Both guys
friend,
and girls.
my best friend
Yes, you're
Dylan was
hot, DNICS.
also on
Very
Kaba
hot.
Modern.
Yeah, shout out to Dylon.
Shout out Dylan, and honestly, he's one of the best dancers I've known. But he really put into perspective like his craft, right? Like he talks
Yeah.
to me about dancing, and he talks about textures, and he's talking about more nuanced things about dance, and it's like kind of like how we talk about DJing, and it's just like a whole nother world.
Yeah, people are definitely passionate about dance in a different way nowadays. It's changed over the years, like DJing has. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
what would you give up and then gain?
fuck. Well, it's kind of hard because I feel like I'm a creative like person in general. So I do like to draw, paint. Like I'm a graphic design major, so I'm a DJ as well. And I used to be a dancer, so it's kind of hard. But I would say like if I had to give something up, it would probably be like I'd say DJing, just because I feel like graphic design is more stable. That's my like what I think. You know what I mean? And then I probably pick up like shit. I don't know.
Did the question say creative passion?
Is that creative passion, right?
Yeah. What?
Current creative passions and pick a new passion. Oh shit, my bad.
I was thinking
Mic check.
about. I mean, well, what would you pick
I
up?
think I would just keep going with basketball, to be honest. I don't know. I find that shit fun. I mean, I know like we're playing now, but I think like I would take it like more serious. Like there's like all these basketball YouTube content creators,
Yeah.
and that's cool. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool to see that
Yeah.
happen.
I think basketball,
Yeah.
like you could be creative with it as well.
Yeah, that's true,
Like
too.
what you make the
A lot of
What
people
do you
like
make it out of?
make a bag with that shit too. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe basketball. I don't really know.
You should
It's-
be one of those basketball YouTube content creators.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Go to
Have
every
beef.
every single park in the United States.
Have beef with people and shit, bro.
No, but be the wholesome one. We always see the bad guys because that type of content spreads like wildfire. But there's
I feel
there's a
like-
lot of wholesome like basketball hoopers.
There are, but then I feel like knowing my personality, bro, like if somebody's gonna talk to me, then I'm gonna talk back for sure. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. That's
Even
true.
if it's like homies and we're like playing friendly and shit, like
Uh-huh.
I'm still probably gonna talk shit back.
Okay.
You know?
It's just like friendly banter,
Yeah.
you know. It's just part of
But
the
yeah,
game, I guess.
I don't know. Like just get better with that shit. You know?
I think out of everyone in our group, wait, okay, for that group chat, the hoop chat, who do you think would be the biggest shit talker out of all of us?
the biggest shit talker.
Yeah, or like if we were to have a
Are we
game-
talking about?
So
just-
if we're playing all together and we're playing another team, like in a league,
Are we talking
Oh,
just
Benzo.
like anybody in that group chat, or like people that come consistently? Because people don't come consistently. from that
anyone
group.
in that group chat.
Mm. I'd have to say like Dirty Bird. Shout out to Charlie.
Charlie, no, Charlie doesn't talk shit. He just
I mean, like he talks shit
He's
to
just
like
very,
our
like,
our group and shit like that. Our group, like we've had experiences where he had like friendly banter, but
yeah, I told
actually no, I don't think he would do it like against like adult league because like it's like
no,
strangers.
he didn't though. He didn't.
Yeah.
He only does
Probably
it around us because
Benzo.
he's comfortable.
Yeah, Benzo for sure because I feel like Benzo could talk shit. You know what I mean?
He's like confident in his
He's
ability,
confident in his
you know.
game. Like
I got into a
Obviously.
scuffle last time. Not like
you got into a scuffle.
well, we were pushing each other for sure. Not like in a point where it's like
You and Benzo?
no, not me and Ben.
Wait, who?
Like someone in our league. We played this team. We were getting blown out too, and I was getting so frustrated. So I was just like
In the
playing
scuffle.
hard. I was playing hard defense. I was just like hacking,
Oh,
and the guy was
okay.
just like pushing me off, and he's just like, "Dude, what the fuck's your problem?" And I just like kept doing it because I was just so angry.
Honestly, bro, I don't think like it might not even be your fault. Like it might just be that you guys are playing aggressively towards each other.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
He thinks it's hacking, but really it's not. Like it's just you guys are
No, I was
playing
hacking.
hard.
I was
Okay, never
hacking.
mind. Yeah,
Because,
me
yeah, I
too.
was mad.
What about you, Jacob? Who do you think out of our whole group chat would be like the person that would talk shit the most?
I think Ben as well.
Ben?
Yeah. I think Ben is like slick with it because he'll like stab you with the truth.
Yeah.
I would cry.
It's like,
I'll
"Dude,
be
you
like,
can't go to your left.
I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna take my shoes off then. I'm just kidding.
Shit. Okay, I'll answer the question. I'll say one creative passion that I'd give up is, I honestly think that like, well, I am kind of doing this right now, but I'm gonna be stopping coaching in November,
hmm
and I feel like that is kind of a creative passion of mine, definitely a big passion of
Yeah.
mine, because I've been coaching for like 5 years now, and Anthony has known me like for about 7. So like majority of the years we've known, like I've always talked about coaching, and I've come to a point where it's time to kind of let go of it. But I want to finish off the best way possible.
Right.
So in a sense, like this question kind of does like come back to me.
It's kind of like
personally.
realistic for you.
Yeah,
huh?
it is. It's sometimes like these type of questions, like these types of actions, like they're really hard to do. But in a sense, I'd give that up because financially it's not there for
Right.
me, and I want to do live a certain lifestyle, and the coaching lifestyle is like nonstop. It's like 100% like
Yeah.
every single day, like you're nonstop thinking about on the weekends and stuff. So sometimes it could get a little draining, even though when you know that you have to take a break, it's just like you would always go back to it. So I think
100%.
that's why I would kind of want to take a step back and like focus on graphic design and something.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Let's all just be
I
graphic
just wanna,
designers.
Yeah.
Let's
I
do
just
that
want to
shit.
finish because like not only do I want to like get a job and stuff, but it's also I feel like in that realm, like I'll still succeed and be happy with what
Yeah.
I'm doing. So definitely I'm more on the creative side anyways.
Yeah,
So.
I think there's always creative block, but to find yourself constantly thinking about what's new, like creating new things, like there's always gonna be like a spark of interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this right here. Like we
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
created this through not just like talking about it, like
Yeah.
opportunities came our way. We capitalized that on that,
Yeah.
and then we made business choices, and now we're here. So
Yeah, dude. I could tell you that you were a good coach too, because I mean, you're still a good coach because you're good at leading and like this whole thing, like you're good at organizing. Like,
my kids
delegating
hate me. My
roles
kids
and
hate
shit.
me right now. My kids hate me.
I mean,
right
we
now.
might not get like whatever you give your kids, but like you've like definitely like shown us a lot of like passion of like leading and like creatively though. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
had to
I
give
appreciate
Jeff his
that.
flowers real quick.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that. My kids right now we're in a rough patch where there's like we're working on like discipline right now for us,
Uh-huh.
and it's so funny because we talk about like discipline like almost like every other day. Like sometimes it's exhausting to hear it, and but it's something that is tough, but we have to work through it to be a successful
Yeah.
group.
They're gonna
So-
learn, bro. They're gonna learn hard too.
I know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but the only direction is going up now. So
Yeah,
Tough love.
Yeah, tough
is
love, for
It's
sure.
the only way, honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
would say definitely for everybody to learn the hard way is like sometimes the best way. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
If you're never on the brink of quitting something, is it a real passion or something that you want to do, right?
or is it even working? You know
Yeah,
what I
is
mean?
it even working out? Are you doing something, right? Like a
100%.
lot of people like that are people that are successful, like they're hated somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? Like, are you willing to take the bad and good with that? And if you're not willing to take the bad, then it's not meant for you.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
so
man.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
that should end.
Great perspective right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Well, we're kind of at the end of the podcast right now. So my mom, she runs this nonprofit organization called Pug Rescue of Korea.
Yeah.
So she asked me to advertise for her. So I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
Right
Wait,
here.
is there a lot of pugs in Korea?
Dude, there's a lot of dogs in general in Korea, but the thing is, the reason why this this is brought up, right? Pug Rescue of Korea is that a lot of people in Korea, they abandon their dogs. So there's a lot of stray dogs out there.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
there's a lot of pugs out there. So this nonprofit organization rescues these dogs from the streets, brings them to the United States, and then we foster the dogs, and then eventually they go out and find a new home.
Wait, can we do a episode where we have all the dogs like around here?
Yeah,
We just,
we
like,
got Gabe's
we just
blessing. We
hold
can
it.
bring all the dogs here. Hopefully they don't go crazy or anything.
Please, that would be so
But yeah,
fun.
that'd be really cool. And this hat right here, it's actually a really nice bucket hat. The logo right here, it says
Trucker
Pug
hat.
Rescue of Korea. It has a little pug and then a little heart with like the Korean colors on it, black and white. It's a pretty nice hat right here. I don't know if you guys want to check it out. Right here. But yeah, that pug right there, he is a foster pug right now. He's Gary. He's staying at my mom's place. I just hung out with
Gary.
them yesterday. Sweet kid, not kid, sweet puppy. I don't know why I said
Kind of
kid.
like a child, right?
But but he's like 7 months.
Oh, wow.
He's 7 months. So
Pug
Yeah, that's
rescue.
my sister, and then the other headshot was me. I took the picture, the original picture of the hat over there. But yeah, go check that out at pugrescueofkorea.org, I believe. I don't know. I can't read this.
Rescue a pug.
Yeah, rescue a pug. Dang it. They deserve a home too.
Pugs, not drugs.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
right
what they
there.
sound like.
Yeah. But anyways, we're just gonna conclude this episode right here. Miko, thanks for coming along for episode 3.
Thank you for
Just
having
really
me.
appreciate it for you to stop by.
Where can people find you at?
Yeah, just like shoot up all the links
Yeah.
right now.
So Instagram, you can find me at Hello I'm Miko, HelloImMiko. SoundCloud, you can find me at soundcloud.com/DJ_Freako. World Peace, you can find it also on Instagram at worldpeace.global, and peace is spelled PIECE.
Nice.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap everything up. Thanks for coming along. All right.
Thank you for having me.
The side room.
Sweet.